Listing of debt securities in IFSC. In Chapter 9 of the IFSCA Listing Regulations 2024, companies have the ability to list their debt securities on a recognized stock exchange within an IFSC. This chapter outlines the process for listing debt securities, whether issued as a standalone offering or through a series of issuances, such as medium-term note. A company may choose to issue debt securities either as a standalone issue or in tranches through a series of issuances, depending on its funding needs. Both options allow the company to raise funds while offering investors various maturities and yields. Filing requirements for listing debt securities. To begin the process of listing debt securities, the issuer must first file a listing application with the recognized stock exchange, along with a copy of the offer document or information memorandum as applicable. The IFSCA regulations specify the following steps for filing. Filing with the stock exchange. The issuer must submit the listing application and pay the applicable regulatory fees to the recognized stock exchange. These fees are then remitted to the IFSCA. Offer document, information memorandum. The offer document or information memorandum must contain all material disclosures necessary for investors to make informed decisions. This includes the company's financial risks and how the funds will be used. These disclosures are essential for transparency and help investors evaluate the risks and benefits of investing in the debt securities. Initial disclosures for debt securities. The offer document or information memorandum for debt securities must include specific disclosures to provide investors with the necessary information. These disclosures cover both the issuer's background and details about the debt issuance. The disclosure include issuer disclosure, general information about the issuer, risk factors, detailed business description, organizational structure and management, major shareholders, audited financial statements, details of the statutory auditor, material outstanding litigation or defaults. Issuer-related disclosure, details of the debt securities being issued, risk factors specific to the securities, a list of stock exchanges where the debt securities are listed or proposed to be listed, maximum issuance amount in case of medium-term notes, use of proceeds of the debt issue. Additionally, if the debt securities are backed by any security or collateral, the offer document must provide relevant details, ensuring full transparency for potential investors. Minimum subscription and credit rating requirements. For debt securities offered through a private placement, the minimum subscription amount for the investors must be disclosed in the offer document, ensuring that potential buyers understand the minimum investment required to participate. Another important element is the credit rating. The issuer must obtain a credit rating from a recognized credit rating agency, either one registered with the IFSCA or a regulator in a foreign jurisdiction. From April 1, 2025, at least one credit rating must come from an agency registered with the IFSCA. The issuer can choose to obtain additional ratings from global recognized agency. Public issue of debt securities. For a public issue of debt securities, certain additional requirements must be fulfilled. These include the appointment of a trustee to oversee the interest of the bondholders and the creation of a debenture redemption reserve to ensure that funds are available to repay investors when the debt matures. Public issue of debt securities must also comply with any additional requirements specified by the IFSCA or the recognized stock exchanges. These rules protect investors and ensure that the issuer is held accountable for repaying the debt. Exemptions for certain issuers. Under certain circumstances, the recognized stock exchange may grant exemptions from specific requirements of Chapter 9 and Chapter 10 of the IFSCA. These exemptions are available to specific types of issuers, including supranational, multilateral or statutory institutions such as the World Bank or United Nations agencies, entities whose securities are guaranteed by a sovereign government, any other entity specified by the IFSCA. To obtain an exemption, the issuer must file an application with a recognized stock exchange, which will evaluate the request based on internal policies and guidelines. These exemptions allow certain organizations to list their debt securities while complying with less stringent disclosures or regulatory requirements.